Hi, I currently serve as a deacon at First Baptist Church of Hollywood, and my name is Jason. You know Moses and his brother Aaron. I wish I had a brother like Aaron to speak for me today, but since I don't, I'll speak instead. Growing up, I heard many stories that my father told me about my aunt and her strong Christian values. I attended church each Sunday with my mom and dad, and while growing intellectually in biblical knowledge, I didn't officially become a Christian until the summer of 1995 at a Christian camp called Forest Home in the San Gabriel Mountains. I made the decision to go to Forest Home because it sounded like fun and a chance to feel I could fit in with my peers. I remember when I was talking to my pastor about receiving Christ, I felt a deep inner peace that everything was going to be okay. I realized from that day on, God's my comfort and not the material possessions of this world. In high school, which is in Orange County, I would consider myself a closet Christian and didn't know how to express my faith. I was behind the scenes quiet, and this kept me from doing things and growing in my faith. I felt more like fitting in instead of shining my light for Christ. I also struggled being on the high end of the autistic spectrum. At times, I had trouble connecting with people, making friends. However, I felt accepted by the people in the high school group at the local Presbyterian church. I made the move from the big city of Los Angeles to a small college in Mount Vernon, Iowa. I felt I wanted to be close to my grandparents who lived in Iowa City since they were getting on in age. Friends back home would mistake Iowa for Ohio. When I began college, I learned the power of witnessing, which I had not previously been exposed to. I fell in with a roommate who had a bad influence on me. I got involved in the drinking scene, but realized after the first semester of my freshman year where I was headed by not following Christ. A fellow Christian got me involved in FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, chapter on the Cornell campus. In my sophomore year, I became an active member of Stand Tall. And from then on, my life has been uphill. God has used a once stuttering and shy teenager into one who's on fire for God. After college, I felt called to learn more about my faith. So I applied to Fuller Seminary, was accepted into the Master of Divinity program. After much soul searching, I decided not to pursue the Master of Divinity program to become pastor. I decided to finish my studies doing the 2-year Master of Arts and Theology program. Learn much about my faith and better ways of connecting with God. After seminary, I struggled with connecting with people and making friends. However, God was always there for me. Then God led me to pursue acting for a few short years. I was able to successfully complete a 2-year program in the Meisner technique. And then I went on to study method acting for a short while and also studied a scene study class for a few years. I also learned improv at Monkey Butler, which was started by people attending Mosaic in Hollywood. I met some great Christian people through this group. After Monkey Butler was dissolved, I took classes at Upright Citizens Brigade in Hollywood, successfully completing their improv program. Through my acting and improv experience, I was able to better connect with people and gain confidence in myself. Over time, I was able to relate to people in a normal way, and my artistic tendencies were not apparent to anyone anymore. Although I did not make it in acting, getting past doing student films, I felt God used experience powerfully in my life. I'm in my second year as a serving as a deacon at my church. I feel that I have helped people in their walks and grow closer to the Lord. I continue to be salt and light in this dark world. Now, I feel this overwhelming love and peace from God. Now, I actively encourage and build others up in Christ. If Christ is for you, who can be against you? But I know that Satan will try with all his power to squash your faith. But never let your eyes off, never live your life off of Christ. You have to realize that you'll never be perfect, but always strive to make yourself right with God. I've had my struggles, but God has always been there to lift me out of the mud, as well as my Christian friends. As it says in 2 Corinthians 12, 9-10, He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, For power is perfected in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. Therefore, I am content with weaknesses, with insults, with distresses, with persecutions, with difficulties for Christ's sake. For I am weak, then I am strong. Ah, the power of Christ.